Hi, BookTube. Welcome to Jackie's Literary Corner. I am Jackie, and it's time for a Christmas book haul. Just for the record, I know it's been a long time since I filmed, but once again, I've been getting that message on my computer that your disk is full, or almost full. So we're trying to decide if I just need a whole new computer, or laptop, I should say, or if I need like a new battery or something to hold, like a hard drive to hold all my put in my videos in there to save or whatever. I'm trying to figure out what's the least expensive thing to do. So like what's the least expensive option? And right now we are but it's kind of hard to make. We're going to try to make an appointment with Apple at some point, but it's kind of hard to do with my job. I don't have a set schedule, so I have to see I have to wait until they put up the schedule for the next week, which is really frustrating because they usually wait to put up until it's closer to that week. I mean, now it might be a little bit easier than it is when I'm trying to make a hair appointment. With it, there might be a better chance of even if I don't find out. Because like with hair appointments and some doctor's appointments, of course you have to make it like months in advance. But anyway, so it might not matter because this video might fail to upload again. So what I'm saying on here might not matter, but we're gonna try it anyway, again for like the third time. So this is all the book-related items I got for Christmas. Now, I got a few other things, like a winter coat. Although I didn't actually open that on Christmas. I opened that beforehand because it came in handy for when I went to work. I bring in shopping carts, so I'm outside. At least for an hour, maybe two. And then I got some gloves, some new winter gloves, and some shirts that I can wear, some sweatshirts I could use as pajama shirts in the winter time. And then I got a Yeti, the brand Yeti, one of those Yeti mugs. And then I also got my family members who gave me the Yeti mug also gave me these cute little ornaments that I could put on my tree because I have a tree that you guys saw in a previous video that I have in my room. So, and they saw that on Instagram, so they got me 3 cute little ornaments to go on it and I was able to put them on because we didn't take down my tree right away. So, anyway, so let's talk. Now let's go and talk about the bookish related items. First, let me go ahead and show you. This was one of the things I got from my mom. This cute little shirt, this cute sweatshirt says, "Cam cannot be trusted in a bookstore." And I don't know if it's from the same place that my sister got the other sweatshirt I got last year, the Just One More Chapter. That was put on there, was on there 4 times in different colors. I don't know if it's the same one, because I mean it might be because I did say I like how that one felt. I like the material, the fabric. So I don't know if this is the same place. But I definitely like sweatshirts a lot more. I used to not like them when I was a little bit younger, but now I like them a lot more. I like wearing them in the winter time, especially if they have something on it that I like. Like some design or something on it that I like, and it's not too bulky, but it's bulky enough. And of course I like the color that I've always been a fan of olive green. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about everything else I got. First, what I'm hoping is the thumbnail is this mug that Terry from Florida got me. And we almost got each other the same type of gifts. But although we kind of deviated a little bit because I got her an action figure of one of her favorite characters from Star Trek: The Next Generation, and I think he's also in Deep Space Nine. I don't know if he's in Voyager though, but it's Q. I got a little Q action figure. But other than that, we got each other almost the same thing. Like, I got her a mug. It's also Q related mug. I got her Q, and then there's something else that we both knew I already knew we were getting each other. But no, we'll show you that in a minute. So, this is a mug with a bunch of book quotes on it, which I live with my parents, and my mom, she doesn't have she has a mug collection, but she doesn't have a collection. Like, it's actually all the same. Like, half of them are half of them are beige. These beige mugs with a little dark red apple on it. With on this part is like green, a little green design on it, dark green. And then she has these other ones that are like a cream color with a little design on the rim as well. And I actually have broken one or two. But so all her mugs basically consist of all of those. And I've always wanted, like my sister has a mug collection, like that's a bunch of different things that, like, mugs that she and her husband probably accumulated over the years. And that's what I want. I want mugs that are different, all different. I like that. But my mom is, of course, like, we don't have any room. So maybe that one day if I ever live on my own, I'll be able to, depending on whoever I live with, because I'll probably have to live with someone, how they're gonna feel about that. But my goal is to have a variety of mugs, starting with this one that I got this year. I love the mug, and it's what I wanted, of course, but I was a little disappointed to realize that I only know some of the quotes on here. Like, there's a few from Dickens, like the Christmas Carol quote, "Marley was dead to begin with." And there's a David Copperfield. Where's the David Copperfield one? There's the David Copperfield one. Somewhere around. Oh yeah, I think that this is it. If you really want to hear about, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born, and what my lousy childhood was like, and how my parents were occupied, and all before they had me. And all that David Copperfield kind of crap. But I don't like going into it. If you want to know the truth. I hope that says crap. I didn't realize that crap was in the... of course, they might have changed it for the mug. They have, I think, "A pleasure to burn." I think it's a quote from Fahrenheit 451. Miss Dalloway. They have "Call me Ishmael." Of course, Lolita, the famous Lolita quote. Tom Sawyer. Like, they have a quote from, I think it's Anna Karenina. "Happy feelings are all alike. Every unhappy feeling is unhappy in its own way." It's either Anna Karenina or War and Peace. I can't remember which one. Oh, and of course the quote from A Tale of Two Cities. And, like I said, a few other, this one that's, like, Striking 13, I think that's from 1984. But yeah, so that's a little bit because of course on the internet you can't really look at, I mean you can, but, or at least, like, you can't buy clothes on the internet because you would want to try them on, or, like, some accessory and whatever, but, so, I guess I could have looked to see. But, like, I just like the idea of having literary quotes on here. So, yeah. One of the other things she got me was that I knew she was going to get me because... So, the story of this is that she saw... This is a Harry Potter related thing. and she saw that myself and another friend of hers figured out she was a Hufflepuff. At least that's what we thought. We figured she was by going by her personality and stuff. And I think she took the quiz and got Hufflepuff. I'm not sure. Or either she took it and got something different, and I was a little surprised because I feel, or she did get Hufflepuff. I don't remember. So I am Ravenclaw, and I decided I saw a blanket because I really like blankets, and I've been getting and so I put this Ravenclaw blanket on my list, and then I noticed when I was looking at her list, I noticed that I guess when she looked at mine to say what she was going to give me for Christmas, that she decided to pick the Hufflepuff one. So I was going to tease you about it, and I was like, oh, so, because of course I got it, so you had to get it, and you had to get your version, and she was like, and it was her idea that we get each other the blanket. So this is it upside down? Got the, I don't know if you guys can. So if you can't tell, it's the Hogwarts crest of each house. So, or like this is the Ravenclaw Hogwarts crest, and then she, like I said, she got the Hufflepuff one. So no, it's not. It's a different than. It's not the fleece material. It's so it's probably more of a spring blanket. Or like a throw type of blanket you can put on your bed, and I do have it on my bed. Okay, so of course, naturally, she also got me books. So I will show you at least one of the books, and then the other book she got me goes along with some gifts I got from other people. So one of the books she got me was this, The Real Jane Austen, A Life in Small Things. So I have Jane Austen's Life in Letters. So, and I wanted to get another Jane Austen nonfiction, and I had heard, I don't remember who I heard it from, like either it was Katie from Books and Things or Kate Howe or either one of them or someone else talking about they did a sharing of Jane Austen nonfiction, and this one they said was a pretty good biographical account. So I don't think it covers our whole life, like from the day the birth and all that. I don't think it covers all that, but it does cover what all these things in her that are part of her life that shaped her life, like her father's religious faith, her mother's aristocratic pedigree, her eldest brother's adoption, her relatives in the East and the West Indies, her family's theatricals, and her determination to become a published author. And she has and we could say she has the last laugh because she is still well read today. I mean, it's so weird when you look at authors from back a long time ago and that are long dead now, and people were treated them like they were nothing was going to come out of them, and then a lot of them are considered classics today and studied today, sometimes read for school, and or even if they're not read for school, they're read for pleasure, which is even better. It says a lot about these authors that people will read them for fun, or they will put them on their list of top 100 or top 10 books to read before you die list, and it shows that they made such an impression. And it's also kind of sad because most of them will never know that. I mean, maybe if you believe in heaven, maybe they do know them. They're watching from heaven, and Or there's a lot of, there's a lot of people say when an adaptation is bad, they're watching, on the one hand, they're happy that their books are so popular that they become movies, but on the other hand, it's like, oh my god, it's a terrible adaptation. What did you do to my story? But it's just, so, I want to attempt, it'll probably be half-hearted, attempt to participate in Jane Austen July, so I might save this one and the other nonfiction about Jane Austen for July. Now, I would love to get some of her juvenilia as well, so maybe one day I'll get that from thrift books. And if I can find some, so I can share, so I can eventually read it for Jane Austen July, because I do have a get a free book option. Just one of the things that's really nice about, you get points for how much you buy, and then if you get to a certain amount of points, then you get a free book that's under a certain amount of money. That's the catch, it has to be under a certain amount of money. So now luckily I feel like some classes, some older books, depending on the edition you get, if it's a classic, can be under that amount of money, so on thrift books. Oh, that's funny. I was watching, my parents had the news on, and they were talking about NPR and how they did, the news anchor was talking about how it has changed, and how it's gone in a different direction that we're not sure about. And there's actually, NPR is blurbed this. So that's funny that I was watching news that talked about NPR, and NPR blurbed this. So, yeah, so that might be saved for Jane Austen July. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you the other, oh wait, no, that's not it. These are, where is it? Did I not, I know I got it somewhere. Oh, it's under the blanket, that's why. My blanket is hiding it. Okay, so, the other thing she got me was, okay, so I already had these books, but I had them in mass market, and you guys know I'm switching up my mass markets and buying regular paperback sizes for a lot of books. So, and I want to do that with as many of Brandon Sanderson's books as I can. So Terry got me this, the first book in the Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, his magnum opus, his epic series. And I actually finally got to a part that I remember I watched Jay from Captioning Words, where he explained what happens in this first book, and I imagine he does that for all of them, just because I watch it so that, it had been a long time since I picked it up, so I was watching it to get someone to explain what happened, and refresh my memory, and then I ended up just watching the whole thing anyway, because, I figure, what the heck, I'll get spoiled. And I finally actually got to a part that I remember him talking about. I finally got past that part. So I was very happy about that. So I'm on page 530 in this one. And there are, let's see, how many pages are there in these, in this edition? Well, okay, so if you go to the end notes, it's in the thousands. So it's almost up to 1,000. So, yeah, because it's the last page number is 999. Oh, wait, no, actually, the last is... Oh, no, it does get to the 1,000. It's 1,001 pages. So she got me the first one, and then I got books. And when I saw her open it, and I was trying not to, because it's not about what specifically you get, it's about appreciating that you've received a gift. So, I was trying not to be a little bit caught off, disappointed, because I didn't have the first book. And I know in the past my mom had expressed how the way I had the books on my Amazon wish list is they weren't in order. So I was worried, oh, I got the second and the third book from this person, but I didn't get the first book. So now I have to buy it myself. And I don't want to buy it right after, after Christmas, because I'll feel a little guilty for buying when I just received a bunch of Christmas gifts. So luckily Terry had got me the first book, and then I had a family member got me, and so I ended up opening these first, because the family member, I opened her gift on Christmas Eve, or the day before Christmas Eve, because we celebrated that with that part of the family, on that day. She got me books 1 and 2 of the Stormlight Archives. That's what the series, in case you don't know, the overarching title of the series. So that's books 1 and 2 in that edition. So I'm happy about that. Now I have them, and I can, I'm very content with the versions that I have. Oh, and what's really cool about this one is it has 2 full-page illustrations, unique to this edition. So I thought that was really cool. Like, one of them is a sketch made by Shalon, the character Shalon. And then another one is, I think, a map? Yeah, it's a map of some kind. So that was cool. So that was not the only fantasy series I got for Christmas. So again, this was another situation where I had the book, again, this is a situation where I had the mass markets, and I decided I wanted to switch them out for regular size paperbacks. So first, I got my sister got me the prologue, New Spring, which I do know what happens in that. I don't know what happens, but I know that one focuses on I know which characters that one is about. And then she got me the first book. Now I have 2 versions of the first book that I put on my Amazon wish list, just in case. There was the red one that matches these covers, and then I got one that it was the same size and everything, and had the same similar design, but the cover was actually more of the 80s, 90s cover that I put on there, and that's actually the one at the first book I got, which that's fine with. I'm cool with that. I'm just happy with the size of the book. So this is the first one, The Eye of the World, and like I said, it has the 90s cover that's on the mass market ones, and like I said, that's cool. They're amusing to look at. I remember watching Emily Fox's video where she talks about that, how she just loves these covers because they're so funny, and their retroness, how dated they look. And which is so funny because I don't know. Obviously, I'm guessing this is Lan. And then the other person, I don't know who it is. This is supposed to be Moraine or Nynaeve, or I think it's Moraine. And she just looks so tiny compared to him. It's like, that's not very realistic. Like, she would not be that small compared to him. Granted, he's got a really big horse, so I don't know. Maybe it's just the horse itself, but either way, it's a ridiculous cover. But it's the size I want. The size of the book is what matters. So now I got these 2, and then from my mom and dad, probably more my mom than my dad. My dad probably does not know what he got me. I got Shadow Rising, book 4, and book 6. Now, again, goes back to the problem of when I had them on my Amazon wishlist, they were not in order. So my mom, I guess I'm the only one who really looks at this part right here. Because, I mean, it is kind of small, so this is technically book 6, so I don't have book 5 yet. So maybe I'll get book 5 maybe one day I'll get book 5 on my own, or for my birthday. I don't know, but, yeah, so at least I have book 6. And there's 14 books. So I have to get, I guess counting the prequel, there's 15. So I have to get books 7 through 14. So, like I said, I already have book 6. Okay, and then the other thing my parents got me, my mom and dad got me, was something. I think I had seen this on BookTube before. Someone talked about this on BookTube before. And that is like someone's, doing their book gift guide or something. These, sorry. So, this is the, you can basically scratch off all the books you've read, like I know you do with the lottery ticket, and it is upside down. It's upside down. So this is the young adult one, I believe. So, and this was actually a recommendation of a gift from my sister's friend, my sister's college friend, who's also a big reader like me, and it comes with this, which is like stars and awards and stuff like that. So that was cool. I thought that was nice. And then here's the other one to go with it. My mom got me 2 of them. She wasn't sure if I would have read enough on one of them. So actually, it turns out that I am able to scratch off the more of the regular novels over the young adult one. And I have been kind of, stepping away from young adult. I mean, I still appreciate young adult, and I still think you can read young adult at any age and enjoy it. But I have got more into adult books. But yeah, that is my Christmas. And let me real quick show you what I bought myself so far this month. And then I will talk a little bit about what I'm currently reading. Okay, so first, right after Christmas, right, like, I don't know, yeah, it was still December at the time, because I had noticed that I went a little bit over my budget that I've set for myself, and my mom suggested that I give myself a consequence of that I will lower the budget for this month. So I'm either thinking 60 or 65. I still haven't decided. So I was able to use that as an excuse to get one more book in December. So I went ahead and decided to go ahead and get this one. As soon as I saw My Books A Million had the paperback version, I grabbed it. It's A Rhythm of War, the 4th book in the Stormlight Archives series, which I'm guessing because from what I've heard, there's gonna be 10 books altogether, and he said, and Brandon Sanderson is gonna have it where the first set of books are like one arc, and then it will end, and then the next set of books will have a whole new arc. And I think, so I'm guessing the new arc will start with book 5. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not good. Anything to do with numbers is very confusing to me. So I don't know if this is the end of the arc, this first arc, but this is book 4. And I was very happy and pleased to see, because I would probably not buy the hardback, because I've been in the past I don't like hardback. No, and this has an illustration in it. So that is really, I like when they have color images. You know that Sarah J. Maas's books are like that. Now, unfortunately, you can't get that. I don't know if you can get that with mass markets. But, yeah. So, I was happy. So, now I have all 4 books. And, these books are going to take me a long time to read anyway. So, it's all good. Even if the next... Okay, so... The books I bought recently from the used bookstore are, I got 3 books, and they're all classics. So first I got Merchant of Venice, a Shakespeare play. I really like these editions. I do have a mass market of this edition for Much Ado About Nothing. And this was a situation where I saw this and I decided, I'm gonna grab it because I like this edition. And I like how the typography of the title is like how Shakespeare would actually write. I like how that's really cool. And it has a lot of like extra stuff in it, like notes and stuff like that. But I don't know. So now I know this one isn't as popular. So, but who knows? I'll probably like it either way, even if it's not as popular. So, but I like this size. I wish that my copy of Much Ado About Nothing was this size. But I don't know if I can get that. I'll have to, maybe I can get that off Thrift Books of that size. I don't know, maybe I'll keep it. Okay, so that's one of the things I got first. This is my first purchase in January. Well, my second purchase, because I also got, which I will tell you about in a minute, but I did get something from Thrift Books, which is not here yet. But the other thing I got was, first I got The Monk, with an introduction by Stephen King. This is a gothic horror. I remember the first time I thought about buying this, I was hesitant because I didn't know if I would be comfortable with the content. I'm still not 100% on that, but I'm going to try it. Plus, it was $3, so it wasn't super expensive. And I've always been intrigued to buy monks. I don't know why I like the idea of monks and priests in fantasy. I always thought that was, or in literature in general, I thought that is very interesting. Especially the whole trope of they have naughty thoughts, and because they have to be pious, and they choose God, so they can't have dirty thoughts and stuff like that. And just how there's a lot of literature that goes with the idea of them trying to not have them, and they have all these suppressed emotions and stuff like that. And I don't know if she actually read it or not, but I know Emmy Reeds she has read this or talked about reading this, with either Kiara or Mary Among Stories. I know that they've talked about reading this classic or they have read it. I'm not 100% sure. I do remember her mentioning it on her channel, talking about wanting to read it, so I'm gonna try it. This is a Oxford World Classics edition, and there's an introduction by Stephen King, so. And then last but not least is one that a book that I'm currently reading, a nonfiction actually, that I'm currently reading, mentioned this book. And I saw it, so I had this book on the brain, and I saw it at the roast office. I was like, I'm going to grab it, I'm going to try it out. Especially because I am getting more into epic poetry. And that is the Aeneid by Virgil. Oh, I did spell his name wrong. And I gotta admit, I don't know a whole lot about what this particular one is about. I just know it's ancient literature related. And I have quite a few, epic poetry to read. And I would like to maybe one day try a month where I spend the whole month reading epic poetry. Like, I still gotta read Paradise Lost by Milton, and then Dante's Inferno. Well, basically the Portable Dante, because that's the whole thing. All three of them, and then with another one, an extra one. And then that's the other thing I forgot. Another gift I received. Let me get that. Forgot one more thing. I'm sorry. At least one more book-related thing that I received from my sister, which is The Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson. And, I actually recently I started rewatching Buffy, the TV show, and in an episode from season 1, Buffy has a crush on a guy at her school that actually is a fan of Emily Dickinson. And when I first filmed this video, I had actually just watched that episode. But, I definitely, so that was kind of funny that I didn't even think about that when I decided to rewatch that series. But, yeah, I've always been very intrigued. I definitely want to get more into poetry. And, like, last year I read some poems by a collection of Emily Browning's poems. I've read all of them back in, like, spring or the summer. Actually, no, I think it was this summer. It was summertime. It was close to the end of summer when I read through all the poems. So, and that's what's the nice thing about poetry, is you can get through a whole collection of poetry, within a few days, if you want. Of course, like a lot of people that don't read poetry regularly, I am a little apprehensive. Sometimes I feel like I can't understand it, and understand the meaning and the message that the writer is trying to get across. But I definitely want to keep trying to get into poetry, and I figure female poet's a good place to start. But yeah, this is what I got from my sister. One of the things. Okay, so that's what I got for Christmas, book-wise. They said there are other things I got, but I'm just going to focus on the book since this is a book channel. And let me go ahead and real quick talk to you guys about what I'm currently reading. I am reading A Winter's Tale, but I haven't got far on it. I'm mostly focused on these two. Finishing Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. It's getting quite crazy. Like, everything's exploded, the chaos of what's going on, and it kind of reminds me of Needful Things by Stephen King, with everything that's going on. Like all the craziness that is happening with the characters and how all the characters have just snapped, essentially, you know. So I'm pretty close to the end. I'm on chapter 90, and the chapters are short. And there's like 135 chapters, I think. Either 135, 138. I don't know. I have to double check again. But there's a lot. I want to get as much read today as possible. Unfortunately, only one day off, and then I have to go back to work tomorrow. Which I'll bring this with me to work so I can read during my 15 minutes. Which, you know, it's not enough, but at least we get it. So at least we get a break. But yeah, this is really exciting, and I'm just like I'm very frustrated with with a lot of the characters, and just want to shake them, and you know, or smack some of them, you know. And I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I feel like it will probably end on a positive note, or at least a bittersweet note. At least I'm hoping. But yeah, it's very exciting. I just don't, you know, I'm definitely anxious. And I want to know the deal with some of the characters, especially the antagonist, what's her story and everything, and who she is, because we just know her as the hissing lady. She doesn't really have a name or anything, so, so creepy and so fun. And then I am also reading, and this was actually the book that I think mentioned, the Aeneid by Virgil. This is Spqr, An Ancient History of Rome by Mary Beard. I have heard about Mary Beard on BookTube. I want to say Jennifer Brooks mentioned her, or someone else did. But, it's the history of Rome, and so far what I read, it's probably, like, a good place to start, for getting the history. But yeah, so far I've learned about the kings of Rome, the whole Romulus myth, and it's very amusing how, like, all these other ancient cultures are like, they love their myths, they celebrate their myths, even if they're considered a little weird by modern standards. Meanwhile, Rome is like, well, that's a little unrealistic. Or well, we don't know if that's what happened. But we learned about, there's all that, and then right now I'm learning about the laws and how the laws of Rome, and how the Roman people did not like kings. They made sure to get rid of kings. Even though in the, there's, Caesar. I think Caesar literally means king. And we all know how that turned out. And there was a little chapter, a little bit on the whole, the Romans supposedly inventing what is it? Plumbing and all that kind of stuff, and drainage, and how a lot of people, because it was such a big job, a lot of people didn't survive, or were, would like starve and stuff when they were doing it, and it's also talked about how Rome doesn't really know which aspects of their history, like when did the ancient Rome start, and their history can be very confusing and hard to interpret. I mean, I imagine that's the difficulty of ancient history, is that you can't guarantee like what is 100% accurate. I imagine, because like today we have we can photograph things. Like in the 20th century, you could take photographs, you could write newspaper articles, and now we have the internet that came in the 90s. It started growing in the 90s, We have so many different ways to learn about the past that will, that will stay with you, that are, easy to obtain and could hold a lot of information. While back then, you might have like, a scroll or something to document things, but you couldn't 100% trust them. Of course, you still can't 100% trust the internet and what you learn on the internet. But yeah, I feel like it's hard. And like in ancient times, not everybody knew how to read and write. Like today, like most people, not everybody. Sadly, not everybody can afford to go to school and learn to read and write. But there are more people that can read and write today than there would have been back in ancient times. And a lot of times it was only certain people, like religious figures and nobles, that were allowed to read and write, while people that were considered peasants did not have that privilege. Okay, so that is what I'm currently reading. Hopefully this is not a waste of time. This video will be able to upload. I would love to hear what you guys got for Christmas. If you want to share it, feel free to share in the comments below. And I hope you are enjoying your reading and you are having a great start to this new year. Hopefully you're feeling good, and if you like this video, be sure to give a thumbs up, click subscribe if you haven't already, click the bell notification if you want to be notified when I post new videos, and I will talk to you all later. All right, bye!